Men, listen up. In Isaiah chapter 53, the Bible clearly explains how Jesus looked like, right? And the answer is we don't know how Jesus actually looked like. The Bible, the only thing it says about Jesus' appearance, it says nothing about him says we should go to him. Nothing attracted you to him. He came with no beauty, he came with no majesty. But what made Jesus so powerful? What made him so loved? What made people draw close to him? What made people draw near to him? If the Bible doesn't say anything about his beauty, about his majesty, you know, the Bible clearly explains in Isaiah chapter 53 that Jesus came in no beauty, came in no majesty, so nothing would attract you to him. But yet, people drew close to him, people drew near to him. I think the Bible was trying to show us that as men, I think this was a perfect example of how your looks should not matter as a man. We're living in an age right now where a lot of men are insecure about their looks facially. We're living in a time where men are so hung up on how they look like. I think it's because of the social media, the models and everything. So men are kind of starting to behave like women, starting to pay attention to their looks. And I'm not saying that you should not take care of yourself. You should take care of yourself. You should get a haircut every now and then. You should go to the gym, eat good food, take care of your, like you should take care of yourself. But you should not be obsessed of how you look like. Because if you look at the Bible, Jesus did all these miracles. Jesus was mission focused. Jesus was mission focused. And I think that's what brought value to him. That's what brought so much value to him, not because of how he looked like, but because of the work that he did, because of the work that he put in towards himself. Because in Luke chapter 2, verse 52, it says, Jesus increased in wisdom, in stature, and in favor. So which means that from the age of 12 to the age of 30, those 18 years of silence, because we don't know those 18 years of Jesus' life, those 18 years of silence, they mean that Jesus was working on himself. Jesus was building his value. He was building his value. And that's what made him to be attractive. That's what brought value to him. That's what made people draw near to him because of what he did. He was building his value, and that's what we should do as men. We shouldn't focus on our looks. Looks don't make you attractive as a man. And I'm seeing this a lot of times because I know a lot of good looking men who still struggle with women. A lot of good looking men in Hollywood, they're going through divorces. So it's not looks. What makes a man attractive is the work that he puts in. What makes a man attractive is the value he does through his work, through his grinding, through his building phase. In that 18 years, Jesus increased in wisdom, in stature, in favor with both God and men, which means Jesus in those 18 years was the grinding phase. He was working on himself. He was building his value as a man. And this is what we should do as men. We should build our value, right? We should not focus on our looks because the Bible makes it clear. The Bible doesn't even give us a glimpse of how Jesus looks like because it's taking away our focus on what Jesus looked like, and it's putting our focus in what Jesus did. It's putting our focus on Jesus' value, which was his work, which was his mission. That is a man's way of being attractive. Focus on your mission. Build yourself. Build your value. Grind, build your frame, establish your frame as a man, and that will ultimately make you attractive. Now, I'm not saying that you should do all these things to be attractive. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that I'm trying to fix a lot of young men's perspective out there. Good looks do not make you attractive. There's a lot of good looking men that still struggle with women. There's a lot of good looking men who can't find a good relationship with people, with women, and so forth. So as men, it can't be looks. Don't stop being obsessed over your looks and start being obsessed of your purpose, of your value, building your value up. The Bible makes it very clear. It doesn't make us focus on Jesus's looks, but it makes us focus on Jesus's work, his mission, what he was called for. And that's what we should do as men, is to focus on our value, to focus on what we're called for, right? And anyway, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope it brought a new perspective into what you should do as a man. Stop focusing on your looks, but focus on your value. Focus on your grinding phase, right? That's where a real man's value is. It's in the work that he puts in. If you enjoyed it, share this video with another brother in Christ. If you have any questions, anything you'd like to add, email me in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.